All right, good morning everyone. Isang magandang araw sa lahat po ng ating business partners here in Philippines and all over the world. So it's me once again, your host today, your area sales coordinator of North Luzon. Walang iba, kundi syempre, si Ivy lamang. You have no choice. So, kumusta po kayong lahat dyan? Nagulat ako, nahuli nyo akong nagsishare ako nung live natin ngayon. So please do share our live stream today dahil napaka-informative ng ating topic. Napakaganda ng topic na i-discuss sa atin mamaya. Of course, walang iba kundi ng ating guest, Doctor from Pampanga, ng anak ng ating service center director na si Mr. Jaime Magsino. So, abangan po natin siya, but before natin siya tawagin, before tayo mag-start sa kanyang topic all about respiratory health, please like and share this video again and again. And of course, comment below if you have some questions related po sa respiratory issues or respiratory health. You can ask sa ating pong comment section and later babasahin po natin yan para naman po maliwanagan kayo in case po na hindi po yun madaanan sa presentation mamaya ng ating guest doctor. All right? So, before anything else, I'd like to greet each and every one of you muna. Medyo sunod-sunod yung araw ng pag-ulan, medyo malamig ngayon, masarap magkape. Please share anong coffee ang inyong kapartner ngayong oras na to. Ano yung masarap ninyong iniinom or kapiling na DXN products right now, di ba? So, batiin ko yung mga technical. Do we have, ayan. Siyempre, nangunguna, hindi mawawala. Miss Jean Magsino, good morning. Ay, eto na po yung live na inaabangan mo. Okay, hi Jean. Yeah, we have George Obejero all the way from Lapu-Lapu, Cebu. Mabuhay ka rin, Sir George. We have Sir Ambrosio Estuesta, of course, one of our loyalists. Yeah, from Malolos. Yes, Ma'am Rina Carbonell, DXN family around the world. Good morning daw, ayon kay Ma'am Rina. All the way from Malaysia, hello, Ma'am Lerma Hernandez. Yes, Miss Irene, beautiful morning din sa'yo. Kumusta? Hello din kay Ma'am Alma Torres from Norway. We have Sir Jay Valeriano all the way from Quezon City. And Amani Alberto from Ras Al Khaimah, UAE. Ma'am Mean Pausal from San Jose del Monte, Bulacan, Tungko Service Center. Hello, Ma'am Mean. Last 5 tayo, technical, dahil exciting tong topic na to. We have Ma'am Vanessa from Coronadal. Vanessa Cao. Oh, flash mo yan. Flash mo yan, mama ko yan. Hi, Ma. Jean Magsino, love you. Love you all. Okay, Miss Florencia Baduyan, all the way from Kuala Lumpur. Busy-busy yung mga team Malaysia natin dyan ngayon eh. Okay, so yun na yun. Ang bilis, no? Oo. So, yeah, sabi ko nga po, napakaganda ng ating topic today sa ating The Doctor is In para sa ating Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday. So, ang ating pong pag-uusapan ngayon, ang i-discuss ng ating guest speaker, one of our doctors here in DXN, residents doctors kung tawagin na natin, di ba? Siyempre, it's all about our respiratory. Ano ba yung, how it functions, paano ito nag-work, and paano ito nakaka-affect sa ating overall health, and at the same time, paano natin po ito mapapangalagaan, at ano-ano ba yung mga health issues na possible na makuha natin pag hindi natin ito inalagaan ng maayos. So without further ado, eto tawagin na natin ang ating guest speaker all the way sa kanyang pinagtatrabuhuhan. We have our guest today. Let's all welcome him with our virtual heart and clap. Miss Dr. Jose Carlo Magsino. Good morning, Doc.
Hello, good morning. Good morning,
Good morning, Doc. Yes, talaga nga naman na nasa ano pa talaga si Doc. So, hindi na natin patagalin, Doc, no? Start na natin bilang alam kong busy-busy ka ngayon. So, naisingit niya. Pusuan naman natin si Dr. Jose Carlo. Naisingit niya po itong ating live stream for today. So, yeah, the floor is yours, Doc.
Yes, thank you very much po. So, again, today, we'll be discussing about po, our lungs or yung ating basta tayo humihinga, ang ating baga. So, breathing is life, all about respiratory health. So, let's start na po siguro. Medyo late na po tayo. Sorry, late na konti. So, what is the respiratory system? So, basically, it's the combination of organs, tissues associated with breathing. So, nagsistart to sa ating ilong, our nose, down to the lungs, yung ating baga. So, in this area ng katawan natin, doon nagkakaroon ng gas exchange. Yung tinatawag natin, nagpapalit yung oxygen sa carbon dioxide. Yung oxygen yung nakukuha natin sa air, then na carbon dioxide yung ginagawa ng katawan natin, which is the waste, ilalabas natin through our lungs. So, magkakaroon ng exchange naman sa plants. So, ang plants naman tayo. So, it brings oxygen into our bodies, which we require for our cells to live and work properly. It helps to bring yung carbon dioxide produced by cellular function. So, it transports air into and out of lungs, protecting against inhaled particles, exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. So, meron tayong mga protective mechanism dito sa ating lungs, sa ating nose, down to the pharynx, to the trachea. Meron silang mga protective areas na ma-discuss natin later. So, next slide please. So, two main components which is the upper respiratory, sa may bandang taas, composed of the nose, yung ating ilong, the pharynx, yung area kung saan yung nako-connect yung ating mouth and the nose, the larynx, which is yung kung saan yung ating vocal cords. The organs of the upper respiratory tract are found outside the chest cavity. So, yung chest, yung ating dibdib. So, sa dibdib pataas, yun yung upper respiratory tract. The lower respiratory tract naman ay yung ating trachea. From the vocal cords, may pababa dyan na parang tube, which is the trachea, then down to the lungs. So, sa lungs natin, mayroong mga bronchial tree na tinatawag, mga maliliit na tubo yan, na nagko-connect pa diretso sa alveoli. Yung alveoli, yung parang mga maliliit na balloon sa loob ng lungs natin, kung saan nagkakaroon ng gas exchange o nagpapalit yung oxygen sa carbon dioxide. So, yun yung ating lower respiratory. So, the lower respiratory tract is usually found or makikita to sa loob ng ating dibdib o sa loob ng ating chest cavity. Next slide, please. So, the upper respiratory tract, the nasal cavity, inside the nose, it is lined with a mucous membrane. So, meron po siya mga parang, ano po sa Tagalog, siya yung mga parang mga sipon-sipon na nakaline sa ating ilong. And it will help sa pag-filter o pagtanggal ng mga dumi sa air. So, dumidikit dyan yung mga dust particles, tsaka yung mga, pag may tiny hairs, yung cilia, it helps them remove the dust o yung mga dumi na nalalanghap natin. So, pag na-irritate yung nose, na-irritate yung mga cilia, yung mga hair, we sneeze or we blow it out through coughing or sneezing. Then the sinuses are air-filled spaces along side of the nose to help the skull make lighter. So ito po yung sinuses, meron tayong frontal sinus saka maxillary sinus. Mga spaces lang po yan. Sabi nga po is para gumaan lang yung ating skull. Pero may areas din po dyan kung saan pwedeng magkaroon ng removal of the dust particles and malabanan po yung mga unwanted o hindi gusto, which is yung connection ng nose sa likod tsaka ng ating mouth. Then this plays a role in sa speech tsaka sa paglulunok po tayo. Doon po matidetermine kung yung para sa baga or pag lumunok tayo, so pag-uso yung papunta sa tiyan. Yan po yan. And then the larynx po, dyan po matatagpuan yung ating words. Dyan po nagagawa ang ating voice. And that's the part po ng mga ating upper respiratory tract. Next slide, please. The lower respiratory tract naman po from our vocal cords, actually yung Adam's apple, yung nandyan yung ating vocal cords. So the trachea pababa, it's a tube na nagko-connect sa upper tsaka sa lower. So found under the larynx, it is the main dalawang balloon. Then the bronchi are small tubes na nagko-connect sa trachea to the alveoli. Yung muscle sa baba ng lungs which helps sa ating So, copy po. Medyo unstable connection. Let's move on to the next part. Next slide, please. So, the organs of the the respiratory system, ito lang po yung picture. You can see the different parts o iba't ibang parte ng ating lung or ating breathing. The nose, which is the upper part, and then the mouth, connecting with the pharynx, then down to the larynx, which is the vocal cords, then a tube pababa po ng lungs is the trachea, then we have two lungs, and then the small bronchi. We have bigger bronchi to smaller bronchi na nagli-lead po sa alveoli, kung saan yung ating gas exchange. Next slide. So what is respiratory disease? A kind of illness that influences the lungs and other parts of the respiratory system. So, ang mga sakit na respiratory disease na tinatawag, ito po ay puwede sa ilong, sipon, sa ating baga naman, pulmonya, iba't ibang sakit, emphysema, bronchitis, COPD, ang chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So, respiratory diseases are caused by infection and mostly caused by smoking tobacco. So, masama pong yan. Habit yung pag-smoke. Kasi tobacco is proven na po na it affects our lungs. Then, breathing in second-hand smoke. So, kung hindi man po kayo smoker, pero yung kasama niyo po sa bahay ay smoker, you breathe in yung second-hand smoke, which is worst or mas masama po siya sa first-hand smoke. Kasi po, na langhap na ng tao yung smoke, and then yung in-exhale niya is more deadly and more carcinogenic na tinatawag. Radon naman po is a radioactive material. Asbestos po is usually nakikita sa mga sa nature, and pag nalanghap po, it can cause some changes po sa ating lungs or can lead to fibrosis. And then other forms of air pollution. So, example, when you are living in the city, mostly wala na halos trees or puno, then the air is not actually that clean. So comparing our lungs to a smoker and living in the city, halos same po siya kasi marami rin pong pollutants dito sa city. Next slide, please. So our respiratory system diseases one is the most common chronic obstructive pulmonary disease or what we call COPD. Then next is asthma, yung ating tinatawag na hika. Ang hika naman po ay sa mga taong maraming allergies, nag-overreact po yung ating lungs sa mga certain air na normal naman talaga nag-e-exist, pero ano yung ating lungs, reactive masyado, like dust, smoke, or sa food. Next one is lung cancer. Is nagkaroon ng mutation sa cells, and then tumubo yung ating mga bukol sa lungs. Pulmonary fibrosis naman po yung scarring o nagkakalyo yung ating baga, hindi siya masyadong common dito sa Philippines. Usually sa Caucasians po yan. But also, it is also deadly. Pneumonia naman po, pneumonia is caused by bacteria and viruses. And mama-discuss po natin later. Next slide, please. Clear pa po? Medyo unstable connection. So, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, it is a lung disease categorized by chronic obstruction of lungs, airflows that inhibit with regular breathing and is not completely reversible. So, ang chronic obstructive pulmonary disease ay composed po ng emphysema tsaka ng chronic bronchitis. Ang emphysema naman po ay isang depekto sa ating baga kung saan humihina yung ating baga, nag-expand masyado, hindi na makapasok yung air or hindi na masyado makalabas. Sa chronic bronchitis naman, yung mga tubo na sinasabi kanina, yung mga bronchi ay namamaga, sumasara, hindi po nakakapasok ang mga hangin sa katawan. So, yun po, pinagsamang ganun yung sakit na yan. So, pag nagkaroon po kayo ng ganitong klaseng sakit, medyo wala na po talagang actual gamot. So, the good thing para hindi tayo magkaroon ng ganito is for prevention. So, ma-discuss natin later na paano natin ma-prevent yung ganitong sakit. Next slide, please. So, common causes, ito po yung causes. And actually, these causes are easily preventable. Pwede po nating maiwasan itong sakit na to kung matatanggal po natin itong habit na to, ang sisigarilyo, cigarette smoke, ang paglayo sa mga naninigarilyo, second-hand smoke. Actually, may tinatawag na po tayong third-hand smoke kung saan kung may naninigarilyo sa bahay, ang usok po ay nanonood sa mga tela. So, may amoy po yung tela. Actually, yun ang third-hand smoke. Masama din po yung third-hand smoke na sinasabi. So, kung mayroong smoker po sa bahay, it's better po kung hindi siya sa loob ng bahay mag-smoke. Then, pollution and fumes from the factories. Pwedeng mamana your genes or pwedeng may hika po kayo. Then, leading to COPD. So, as you can see, the first three, cigarette smoke, secondhand smoke, pollution, we can prevent this or we can avoid or pwede nating layuan itong mga causes ng COPD para hindi tayo magkaroon ng COPD. So, mga lifestyle changes lang ang pinaka-important sa ganitong sakit. So, next slide please. So, COPD signs, hindi masyadong madi-differentiate yung COPD sa iba't ibang sakit pa sa lungs. Kaya mahirap siyang ma-detect agad. So, better if we prevent na lang po yung COPD through lifestyle change. So, ang symptoms, shortness of breath, so very common, coughing, common din, chest tightness, feeling anxious, fluid retention, hindi nyo naman po siya mararamdaman, pero pag in-x-ray kayo, kita po na may tubig yung baga, hirap makatulog kasi hirap huminga, madalas nagkakasipon, yung ating plema ay iba na yung kulay, and feeling you need rescue medicine more than usual. So, makapadalas po yung pag-intake natin ng gamot. Ayan po yung mga signs and symptoms ng COPD. Next slide, please. So, ito, stages lang. However, hindi po siya ma-differentiate agad-agad na agad alam niyo na COPD. So, the best way is to prevent our causes. And kailangan ma-incorporate natin sa ating sarili na magkaroon po tayo ng health-seeking behavior kung saan hindi porket wala po kayo nararamdaman, hindi na kayo magpapatingin sa doktor. Actually, for ages 30 and up, meron na po yung ating mga sakit. So these are medyo mahirap siya mahuli, and usually nasa severe stage na or very severe stage pag na-diagnose na ang ganitong sakit. Next slide please. So treatment of COPD, we have medications. So ang medications po natin is to prevent yung mucus production, pag-produce ng plema. Pwede pong gamot din para sa asthma, yung ating mga puff and steroids, po ang ating mga gamot. So also, ang COPD patient, most likely nagre-require na sila ng oxygen therapy. Pag nahirapan na sila huminga, better kung ma-hook sila sa oxygen. Surgery, if ever yung emphysema, masyado nang lumaki ang lungs at hindi na siya working, nilolobectomy po yan. Lobectomy meaning tatanggalin po yung isang lobe ng lungs na ineffective na po or it also causes problems. Then the lifestyle change, so eat healthy, avoid or pigilan ng pagsisigarilyo. Next slide, please. So tips to help prevent COPD, avoid smoking, and very important, you should stop smoking now. So sa mga smokers po dyan, mga partners po natin na smoker, direct po kasi ang effect niyan sa lungs and direct din po yan ang effect sa ating mga ugat. Even if you eat healthy, you supplement healthy, smoking po talaga, it's direct damage po ang ginagawa ng ating sigarilyo sa ating baga at actually sa ating buong katawan. So avoid breathing in things that bother your lungs. So ito po yung mga allergic, yung mga may asthma, kung pwedeng layuan, like dust or mga pets, let's avoid them para hindi ka magkaroon ng paulit-ulit na infection sa baga that can also lead to COPD. So yun nga, watch out for colds, viruses, and infection. So having a mask actually helps prevent illnesses sa lungs. So actually, this pandemic, maraming natulungan na lung diseases because we are already wearing masks, our mask outside. So ang aking pa-class month, get vaccine. So most of our vaccines help preventing lung diseases or pneumonia. So as discussed previously last month, it's good to have our vaccines. Parang ako, ko lang po, second booster for COVID. So, wala lang po effect. So, okay naman po. So, ask doctor about being tested for AAT deficiency. This medyo po to, complex AAT and alpha-1 antitrypsin. It's enzyme po or chemical sa katawan. Kung konti po yung ganito natin, hindi po matutulungan yung lungs to prevent the damage. So, pwede kayo magpa-test ito pero it's not very common. Usually, to prevent COPD talaga is to stop smoking and breathe clean air. Kung gusto nyo once in a while, mag-vacation sa province para at least clean air ang nalalanghap natin. Next slide, please. So COPD worldwide statistics, about 65 million people suffer from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and 3 million die from it each year. So making it the third leading cause of death worldwide. So hindi po siya sa Philippines lang. This illness is for all races. So, and the number one factor is smoking. So next slide, please. So next illness is asthma o yung hika. So asthma is a chronic respiratory condition that causes inflammation and narrowing of the airways. So yung inflammation po, actually, for certain kinds of person na may asthma, minalas lang talaga na they are very sensitive to things na actually normal naman sa environment. However, pag nalanghap po nila, nagkaka-reaction yung lungs. lumalaban po yung ating immune system sa normal dust or sa pets, sa mga particles na hindi naman po reactive sa ibang tao. So, it is a common lung condition that causes irregular breathing difficulties. So, hirap huminga. Pag inatake ng asthma, nagbabara yung mga tubo na sinasabi ko, dumadami yung production ng plema, mas namamaga lalo yung mga tubo na sinasabi ko, yung bronchi, bronchioles, and the iba pang parts ng lungs. So, frequently begins in childhood, it can also develop in adults and affects individuals of all ages. There's no actual remedy, hindi po talaga pwedeng matanggal yung asthma, but we can have certain medications that can control po yung ating asthma o yung hika. And if ever ang asthma nyo po ay napapadalas, in a month, madalas ka may attack, better kung makita na kayo ng doctor or mabigyan na kayo ng proper medication. Because once na tuloy-tuloy yung ating attacks ng hika o asthma, it can lead to COPD or it can lead to status asthmaticus na tinatawag. Sa status asthmaticus, hindi na nag-e-effect yung mga gamot. So tuloy-tuloy na lang siyang bumabara hanggang sa hindi na kayo makahinga. That's status asthmaticus. So it's better na makontrol po yung inyong hika, ma-prevent. So in a year, siguro one attack na lang, or hopefully in 1 year, walang attack. So patients can live full and fulfilling lives with the right treatment and supervision. So ang ating mga gamot dyan, yung ating puff, salbutamol, steroids, Montelukast, at iba pa. It can help prevent heart attacks. Pero it's not an actual remedy o hindi siya gamot talaga yan to stop this illness. Next slide, please. So, symptoms, almost the same with COPD, coughing, wheezing, ay lang yung common sa asthma or hika, yung wheeze. Yung parang may huni ng pusa or parang masyadong masikip yung paghinga. Yan, wheezing, and chest tightness, shortness of breath, mahirap huminga, difficulty talking, hindi nakapagsalita. Yung pag nagsasalita, halos isang word na lang, or paputol-putol yung salita kasi hinahabol niya yung hininga niya. Then anxious, hindi mapakali, pale, sweaty face, blue lips or fingernails dahil wala nang pumapasok ng oxygen sa katawan, na purple na yung umiitim na yung mga kuko, yung labi, and hirap din ng makatulog. Next slide, please. So, asthma causes and triggers, allergies in air, so mga dust particles. Sa tree, meron din, sa grass, sa wheat, pollens, yung sa mga, may time of the year na merong, ang mga flowers ay nagre-release ng pollen, kaya may time, usually December, November, madalas yung attack ng asthma. Sa mga molds, dahil merong mga may mga maliliit na particles ang molds na nire-release nila sa air. Animal dander, mga buhok, dust mites, ay mga alikabok sa bahay, may kasama siyang mga parts ng insekto or yung kanilang mga dumi, and cockroach droppings. Also sa food naman, usually eggs, some cow's milk, peanuts, soy, wheat, sometimes a fish, most common din shrimp and other shellfish, salads, and fresh foods. Sometimes asthma can also be triggered due to excessive exercise, yung sobrang pag-exercise. Yung mga ganitong tao na ma-attack yung kanilang asthma or hika. The heartburn naman is during sleep, nagre-regurgitate o tumataas yung acid sa tiyan, pwedeng mapunta sa baga, which causes reaction sa lungs, then leading to asthma. So better, if matutulog na sa gabi, huwag mo nang palipasin mo na yung kain. Kain muna kayo, then after 1 to 2 hours kayo humiga, okay, hihiga agad. Next slide, please. So smoking also can cause asthma. It makes symptoms like coughing and wheezing worse. In a problem with smoking, pregnant women who smoke have high risk of wheezing in their babies and also the worse lung function. So no po talaga na ang buntis ay smoke. Hindi lang po asthma ang i-cause ng smoking sa pregnant. Marami pong other causes or maraming magiging effect sa baby. Sinusitis naman causes inflammation in the lining of airways and mucous membranes which inline and sinuses. So medications, we have certain medications that cause asthma, yung ating ibuprofen or mefenamic acid. Pag uminom kayo nito, usually yung namamagay yung mata. So may allergies yung tao and then can also, kung meron siyang asthma, pwedeng matrigger yung asthma niya. Beta blockers naman po, medyo technical na po to. So beta blockers are beta agonists. Ang beta agonist po sa lungs, beta antagonist. Pag na-antagonize po kasi yung beta na tinatawag natin, mga parts po yan sa cell, nagbabara din po yung ating mga bronchi o ating mga tubo sa baga. So, leading to asthma. So, weather, cold air, yan. Sometimes, kung masyado malamig, nagpapos din ng asthma. Changes in temperature, yung sudden mainit, biglang lamig. And the humidity sa air, yung tubig na, yung nasa water particles na nasa air, pag masyadong humid, may cause asthma also. Next slide, please. So, Philippines, asthma around 13,186 deaths, around 2.13%. The rate is 1947 and it ranks around 15. And usually, nagiging deadly lang na may asthma kung hindi siya nako-correct. If ever makorek siya, ma-prevent yung attacks, it doesn't lead to further damage. Or it don't lead to COPD, hindi siya mag-lead sa status asthmaticus ang tinatawag. So according to the latest WHO data published in 2017, asthma deaths in the Philippines reach, yun nga, nasabi kanina, the age-adjusted death rate is 19.47. So around number 15 in the world tayo, sa Philippines. Next slide, please. Asthma treatment. So rescue inhalers or quick relief inhalers. So meron tayong immediate effect na medication na once na nag-attack, pwede tayong mag-salbutamol, yung short-acting na sinasabi natin. And then, preventive long-term medications naman is mag-shift na tayo nun or magdadagdag ng iba pang gamot, long-acting bronchodilators naman. Puff din po siya, and then steroids. Then also, Montelukast. So, also, if nasa bahay lang kayo, better kung kumuha po kayo ng nebulizer. And also, ano lang din naman po to, salbutamol na ginagamitan ng machine. Pwede naman po yung puff din magamit. So, better kung madalas na ang ating asthma attack, napapadalas per month, napapadalas weekly na, better to consult your asthma specialist para ma-correct yung certain medications natin. Next slide. Next disease is pneumonia, which is infection naman po to sa lungs caused by bacteria or viruses. An infection that inflames the air sacs in one or both lungs. Next slide, please. So, signs and symptoms almost the same. However, for pneumonia, meron tayong production ng yellowish mucus or yellowish na phlegma. And then sometimes we have fever and sweating and shaking chills. Shortness of breath, rapid shallow breathing, medyo mababaw yung hinga, kaya mabilis yung paghinga. Sharp or stabbing chest pain, pag medyo lang malaki na masyado yung pneumonia, minsan masakit sa chest. Then loss of appetite, low energy, then madaling mapagod, nausea and vomiting, pagsusuka, particularly in children, then confusion, particularly in older people. Confusion kasi Dahil mababa na yung oxygen na nahihingin nila, yung brain oxygen nila medyo mababa. Kaya nagkakaroon ng confusion, usually sa older people. Next slide, please. So common causes are flu viruses, just like our coronavirus or COVID. Kaya better. And may cold virus, RSV. So, ayan, strep pneumonia, mycoplasma pneumonia. Na-discuss po to actually last month sa ating vaccination. So, all of which, para malakas yung body natin to fight this infection, better kung vaccine tayo at prevent na natin yung gantong diseases. Pag pumasok sa ating katawan, madali na siyang malabanan ng ating katawan. So, cold virus, RSV, itong RSV usually sa bata, the top cause of pneumonia in babies, age 1 or younger. And then our bacteria naman, called streptococcus pneumoniae, mycoplasma pneumoniae, both of which causes pneumonia. Kasi, yan, mostly sa lung siya nagsisettle yung mga gantong bacteria. Next slide, please. Complications of pneumonia, bacteremia. Ang bacteremia, kapag masyado na malala ang pneumonia natin, marami na yung bacteria dun sa lungs, napupunta na siya sa dugo, kumakalat sa dugo, and can lead to further damages sa other organs. Pwedeng bumagsak ang BP, at pwedeng mag-cause ng infection sa other parts of the body. So, trouble breathing, need machine that helps in breathing while your lungs heal. So, oxygen. Then, fluid buildup between the layers of tissues that line your lungs. Dahil ninanabanan ng ating katawan yung infection, nagkakaroon ng mga fluid production doon. And dumadami yung fluid, mas nahihirapan tayo huminga. Lung abscess naman, pag naglaban na yung bacteria and yung ating immune system, nagiging, nana or pus. So, abscess is, pus po siya na nasa lungs. And pag nasa lungs, mahirap siya tanggalin. Kaya most usually, sa ibang times, we need surgical intervention o kailangan operahan para masipsip o kailangan tusukan para masipsip yung mga namuong sa lungs natin. Fluids or pus. Next slide, please. How to treat pneumonia? So, always wash your hands kasi sa hands natin, we don't know saan tayo mahawak. And then, we eat. Napupunta siya sa ating mouth or minsan nasisinghot natin, nahawakan natin yung nose. So, better if ever mahawak ka na madumi or shake hands ka, always wash your hands or apply alcohol. Do breathing exercises para mag-expand yung ating lungs. So, if you breathe normally or pinapa-expand mo yung lungs, lesser chance na magkaroon ka ng pneumonia. Then, also, smoking can also cause pneumonia. Kasi marami nga pong effect ang smoking. It can also pinapatay niya rin yung ating mga cells na nag-help fighting infection. So, next is take a warm mixture of honey and lemon. Madalas na po itong ginagawa, honey and lemon. Use a warm compress. Then cough the right way. Soothing steam and turmeric. Ating mga alternatives. And take a rest. Then exercise your lungs. Take a deep breath. Ayan, take a deep breath para at least ma-expand yung other parts of the lungs para hindi siya stagnant, hindi magbuo yung doon, yung air na madumi para lumalabas din lahat. Then also antibiotics, if ever malala na, through suero, IV, antibiotics natin. Pero kung mild lang, pwede naman oral muna o inom na gamot. Next slide, please. So next is lung cancer naman. This lung cancer is mutation po sa cells. Also called lung carcinoma, a malignant lung tumor illustrated by unrestrained cell growth. So nag-mutate yung cell, hindi na po napipigilan yung growth ng cell na yun. Tuloy-tuloy lang siyang dumadami hanggang sa magbuo na siya na parang bukol. This development can extend beyond the lungs by the process of metastasis. Itong metastasis na tinatawag naman is pag yung bukol na yun ay pumutok na, mapupunta sa ating mga ugat, pwede nang mag-travel sa buong katawan at doon mag-attach, tutubo ulit yung bukol doon. So metastasis po ang tawag doon. Then into nearby tissues or other parts of the body. Next slide please. So two major types of lung cancer, medyo technical po to, small cell lung carcinoma and non-small cell lung carcinoma. Pero mostly, all lung cancer are almost terminal na po. Ibig sabihin, medyo malala na siya pag nakita. So, wala po kasi siyang masyadong symptoms. And then, the best way to prevent or to check kung may lung cancer is kung magkakaroon na tayo ng regular annual checkup. Once na we reach a certain age, I think 30 years old above, dapat yearly meron ka ng annual checkup. So, next slide please. So, ito masyado ng technical po to. Pero mostly, pag stage 1, hindi pa po masyadong kumakalat. Pero dahil nga mahirap siyang ma-detect o mahirap makita, usually, makikita na siya nasa later stage na stage 4, stage 3. Kaya better yung sabi ko is to have a regular or have a good health-seeking behavior. Next slide po. So, symptoms, almost the same with other illnesses, coughing, weight loss, shortness of breath, chest pain. Pero, wag po masyadong mabahala kung meron din kayo mga ganitong sakit. Dahil, mababa naman po yung chances, and if wala naman kayong mga lifestyle na nagkukos ng cancer, most likely mababa yung chances. However, we should always still have our regular checkups. Next slide, please. So, causes. Yan. Number 1 ulit, ang smoking. So, yun nga po, direct yung action niya sa direct damage. So, yung direct damage, other damage din yung DNA, yung cell, nag-limitate, then it grows. Kung madami yung cell, nagkakaroon ng bukol. Radon gas is radioactive. Rhenium naman, very unlikely naman po na ma-expose tayo ganito. Pero kung na-expose man, better kung magpapacheck up na tayo lagi. Then asbestos can cause lung diseases pag nalanghap, air pollution, other air pollutants, chemicals released from the burning of fossil fuels. So yung mga sa kotse natin, sa tambutso, so can cause cancer. Then carcinogenic pa rin po kasi maraming chemicals kasi nandyan. Then, yung hindi po natin pwedeng ma-prevent, genetics. Pero mostly, nasa taas, kaya nating maiwasan. So, better if we have our lifestyle change or kailangan maging conscious pa tayo sa ating katawan. Next slide po. So, prevention of lung cancer, smoking ban, then screening na sinasabi ko, better if we have our annual checkup. Surgery, actually, chemotherapy, nasa meron ka ng cancer. Surgery, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, immunotherapy, bronchoscopy naman po to check kung merong bukol, if ever may symptoms. And masyado ng mga palliative care, medyo malala na yung cancer dyan. So, number 1 talaga is smoking ban. Stop smoking, breathe, clean air. Then have a diet na healthy. Next slide, please. So, Philippine lung disease, according to the latest WHO, 2017, around 26,151, 4.23%, rate of 44.52 yung age, and then rank 15 in the world ng Philippines. Huwag naman sana tayo mag-rank 1. So, as you can see, our lung diseases, ayan, number 3, influenza and pneumonia. Before, tuberculosis can also cause pneumonia. However, meron na po tayong mga free medications sa health centers that can help tuberculosis. Number 6 is lung disease. Ayan. So, common pa rin na pwedeng mamatay sa lung diseases. So, better if we take care of our lungs. Next slide, please. So, 90% of COPD deaths occur low income and middle income countries. And yes, kasi hindi masyadong regulated yung ating actually smoking dito sa Philippines. However, for other countries like Singapore, bawal na mag-smoke in public. So, more than 3 million people die each year from COPD, an estimated of 6% of all deaths worldwide. 235 million people suffer from asthma, common disease among children. So, pwede po natin mapababa itong 235 million if we have a good health-seeking behavior, magkaroon ng proper medications for asthma. Next slide, please. Again, number 3, lower respiratory infections. Yan po. Then also sa DALYs or yung daily lifestyle po natin, pag na-affect po yung daily lifestyle yan, ito lang yung sinasabi dito. If ever may lower respiratory infection ka, our daily lifestyle, hindi po natin magawa yung usual na ginagawa natin. Like, maligo mag-isa, kumain mag-isa, dahil hirap huminga, minsan nakahiga na lang, or offeran na lang ng food sa bed. Yan. So, halos, usually, number 1, lower respiratory infection. Kasi very debilitating, nakakasira ng lifestyle. Parang mahirap ka na, over-fatigue ka, dahil kung hindi hinihinga mo oxygen, mabilis mapagod. So, mostly, nakahiga na lang. Magka-catch ka ng breath mo. Next slide, please. So, here's a short video po.
In order to stay alive, the body has to breathe air. We breathe in oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide. This process is known as respiration. Breathing happens automatically. Every day, the body breathes about 20,000 times. By the time we reach 70 years old, that's about 600 million breaths. All of this breathing occurs because of the respiratory system, which includes the nose, throat, voice box, windpipe, and lungs. At the top of the respiratory system, the nostrils bring air into the nose, where it's filtered, warmed, and moistened. Tiny hairs called cilia protect the nasal passageways and other parts of the respiratory tract and filter out dust and other particles that enter the nose through the breathed air. Air can also be breathed in through the mouth. The two airways of the nose and mouth meet up at the pharynx, which is located at the back of the throat. The pharynx carries both food and air and is used for digestion and respiration. One path is for food. This is called the esophagus, which leads on to the stomach. The other side is for air. It's called the trachea. A small flap of tissue, called the epiglottis, covers the air-only passage when we swallow. This stops food and liquid from going into the lungs. The larynx, or voice box, is located at the top of the trachea, the air-only pipe. This is where our vocal cords are. The trachea, or windpipe, which is a 2 to 3 centimetre tube, then extends downwards from the bottom of the larynx for about 12 centimetres. The walls of the windpipe are made strong by stiff rings of cartilage that keep it open. The trachea is also lined with tiny hairs. They sweep foreign particles and fluids out of the airway, keeping them from entering the lungs. The windpipe divides into 2 branches, and each one of these enters one of the 2 lungs of the body. Each branch resembles the limbs of a tree dividing into smaller, finer branches called bronchioles. The bronchioles end in tiny air sacs called alveoli, which look a bit like grapes. These structures enable fresh air to get to the air sacs, which are surrounded by tiny blood vessels, or capillaries. The oxygen passes through these air sacs and travels through the capillary walls into the bloodstream. At the same time, carbon dioxide transfers from the bloodstream into the air sacs, where it gets breathed out of the body. When we exercise, the body needs more oxygen to feed the muscles as they work harder. The body responds by breathing more quickly and deeply. As the cells of the muscles use up more oxygen, the lungs have to work harder to keep up the supply. The respiratory system then speeds up to supply the body with much needed oxygen, and also to get rid of the carbon dioxide waste in the system. Over time, exercising also helps our chest cavity to get bigger, which enables the body to increase the amount of air it takes in. More capillaries form around the air sacs, so the body gets better at swapping oxygen and carbon dioxide gases. We can see how the body's respiratory system helps the body to move about, and is influenced by regular and ongoing physical activity as well.
And thanks. Short bit. And how to maintain or improve our healthy respiratory system is to maintain a healthy weight, drink more water, consume a healthy diet, limit exposure to allergens, maintain good hygiene, moderate consumption of alcohol, be active, and have indoor plants. So more oxygen na sa and then smoking, prevent. We should stop smoking. So adding in our ating mga supplements sa ating company. During this global pandemic crisis, we often associate the harms of virus in our body. Respiratory health is at stake. We need to be more alert and cautious with our lungs and breathing. So we can help strengthen our lungs by improving our immune system, and which are supplemented by our products. Reishi-gano, penicillium, spirulina, cordyceps, allergy, and spikati and zinnin. So next slide please. So our Ganoderma, known as the king of herbs for precious medicinal use for more than 2,000 years, listed in American Herbal Pharmacopoeia and Dermatic Compendium, and then kind of mushroom that used by the Chinese, Japanese, Taiwanese, Koreans for centuries to promote longevity, stamina, and health. And these Ganoderma herbs can help our immune system to fight off diseases or lung diseases. Kasi once na madalas nagkakaroon ng lung disease, mas predisposed tayo, mas common na magkaroon tayo ng illnesses like pneumonia, COPD, and asthma. Next slide please. So our innovative product, the RGGL. So Reishi-gano, a 90-day-old red mushroom, and Ganocillium. So Reishi-gano can help with matanggal po yung toxins sa katawan, and then the Ganocillium helps in balancing our body. So it works hand in hand po yung RGGL in helping our immune system. Strengthen po siya, and then to prevent lung diseases. Next slide please. So reishi mushroom is a combination ng ating RG and GL. So just like what I said kanina, it helps our immune system. And the good thing for this powder form, mas madali siya ma-absorb ng body. Next slide. So spirulina is a type of blue green algae or cyanobacteria available in tablet, capsule, and cereal forms. This helps, this supplement has marami siyang proteins that can help build our immune system. Next slide, please. So, alkaline food. Spirulina is regarded worldwide because of the presence of extensive range of nutrients containing 100% alkaline food that helps regulate the acid-alkaline pH of our body. Actually, lung diseases or different kind of diseases are mas sensitive tayo sa disease pag hindi balance yung pH ng ating katawan. So it's better kung mapababa natin, hindi masyadong acidic yung ating body. With the help of spirulina, it can lower down our pH sa ating katawan. So it composed of protein, beta-carotene, chlorophyll, vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates. All good for our body. It can help strengthen our immune system and strengthen our body to fight off diseases. Next slide, please. So cordyceps. Cordyceps found naturally in highlands of China, Tibet, and Nepal, cultivated under stringent quality control and testing at the DXN farming factory. which controls production from cultivation to finished goods. So, cordyceps can help our lungs nag-strengthen po siya ng lungs and can help fight off lung diseases. So, black cumin naman po, or black seed, also known as abatul baraka, the seed of blessing, especially formulated selected the quality of black cumin, added with clove and black pepper to enhance its benefit. So black cumin actually helps in respiratory conditions such as asthma or the allergies. Can also help with the cough, bronchitis. So marami po siyang effects sa ating katawan. Next slide, please. So andrographis, made from 100% natural herb of Andrographis paniculata. Then it helps sa ating mga common colds, yung caused by influenza. So it can help if ever madalas ka nagkaka-colds. It can lead to pneumonia kasi and other diseases. So kung ma-prevent natin to with our androgy, it can prevent further damage sa ating lungs. Next slide. The spica tea. Spica tea naman po helps boost our immune system. It is anti-carcinogenic, so it can help fight off lung cancer. It removes toxins from the body and regulate functions of internal organs. Then it can also help in oxygen absorption. So specifically blended for Chinese herbs, Psidium and Radix D series. It does not contain preservatives, artificial coloring, or flavoring. Ideal drink for all ages. Next slide, please. So our Z-mint, it's minty candy, and innovative candy that instantly leaves an icy cool and soothing relief to strain throat. Also, mint can help nililesen niya yung ng colds, yung production ng mucus sa ating ilong. So it can help with our respiratory. So our respiratory system has major impact in overall health. Kasi dito nga yung gas exchange, dito tayo kumukuha ng oxygen. So it's very important. As we already know, breathing is very important. Yeah. Breathing is life. Let us maintain a healthy respiratory all the time by eating a healthy diet, maintaining active lifestyle, and good hygiene. So stop smoking and eat a balanced diet. If not, hindi kaya, and actually hindi tayo nakapag-balance diet daily, we supplement with our products. So remember to be happy and be healthy. Thank you very much for listening.
Alright, thank you so much, Dr. Jose Carlo Magsino. Ayan, sa ating mga
Mahabang
viewers ngayon. Pusuan naman natin at palakpakan si Sir JC sa kanyang very informative na presentation all about his respiratory health issues. Okay, so I think, Doc, check mo tayo kung may mga pa-questions tayo dito from our viewers. So,
kayang sagutin.
Yeah, kung kayo man po sa ating mga viewers, kung kayo man ay may na-experience na ganitong sa mga nabanggit ni Dr. Jose Carlo Magsino, some of the symptoms, baka na-experience ninyo. Or if you know someone na nakaka-experience sa mga hirap sa paghinga, hindi makatulog sa gabi, diba? Yung mga hirap sa pagsasalita, mga ganong simptomas. So, you can ask, Doc, kung meron man kayong for clarification about respiratory diseases. Okay, so while waiting, ako may inihanda akong mga tanong as always. Pero sobrang lang to. Ayan, thank you daw, sabi ni Mean Pausan. Doc, sabi, halos lahat kasi ng mga nabanggit mo, pare-pareho nga po sila ng mga simptomas, di ba?
Yes,
so, and also, may mga nabanggit ka dito like the COPD, the asthma, sila yung mga parang hindi naman talaga walang remedy, no remedy at all.
Yes.
Yeah, so paano natin early ma-detect kaya itong mga to na? Kasi some of these, parang meron ditong yung stage 4 na, saka palang malalaman kung kailan malala na.
Yes. So for asthma, actually, namamana siya o nade-develop yung body. And the good thing is, pagka-attack ka nito, hindi pa siya ganun ka deadly. So, eventually, through time, pag madalas ka nagkaka-attack, doon siya nagkakaroon ng more damage sa lungs. So, kung magkaroon ka na ng episode ng asthma, better if magpa-check up ka na agad and to take the primary medications. And alongside, we have a healthy diet, then supplementation. For COPD naman, once na magkaroon na ng ganito, wala na talaga siyang sakit. And the only thing para mapigilan to is to stop smoking, stop damage sa lungs natin, like breathing air pollutants. So, for the patients na may COPD, ayun, actually, ano na siya halos lifetime na yung sakit.
Lifetime. Oo.
The good to help na lang is dapat meron kang always may medication kang ready dyan. And kung if ever may kailangan ng O2 supplementation, mag-oxygen, O2 or oxygen. Then, eat healthy pa din, supplement to strengthen your body. So, also, in our time today, better if lagi na tayo nagpapa-check up. If ever mayroon tayong nararamdaman na medyo iba na siya than the usual ubo, the usual sipon. Check up na annual.
Annual check-up, very important talaga.
Yes, is po, mga age 30 and above, I think, at least meron kang
age 30.
wellness check-up.
Oo. Ayan. Thank you, Doc, sa yung kasagutan. May mga nagtanong na dito. Can we flash on screen? From Jean Janice Escalante. Bukol sa lungs. Ayan. Meron na rin daw siyang...
So, for lung cancer, at meron na pong metastasis, it will depend po kung sino pong tumitingin doktor sa inyo. Kung usually, I hate to say this, pero mostly chemotherapy na po yung help dyan, or if ever surgical treatment na po, pantanggal yung ano. Depende po talaga sa sa stage. Medyo malala na, may metastasis na po kasi sa bones kaya kumbaga nasa later stage na po, nasa halos mataas na po yung stage niyan. So it will depend on your doctor kung sino nakakita sa inyo, kung anong pwedeng gamot or pwedeng surgery. And at the same time, to help your body, palakasin mo na lang yung on your side naman is help your body to be strong. So eat healthy, supplement.
Ayun. So, yeah, thank you, Doc. And we have another question here from Mr. Gingone. May friend daw siya na every morning pagising, parang may bumabara daw sa kanyang lalamunan.
May plema po. So, it depende po ito kung anong klaseng plema po. Pero actually, the causes of plema sa umaga, if meron po kayong tinatawag na heartburn or meron kayong gastritis, nag-GERD kayo, yung acid po na bumabalik from the tiyan, bumabalik sa ngalangala, nagkaka-effect po kasi yan sa ating pharynx. Nagpo-produce po siya ng mucus. So, kung siya ay may GERD na tinatawag o merong heartburn, yung pag nag-burp siya, merong maasim, better kung mag-take siya ng omeprazole na sinasabi. Ito po ay anti-acidity or pwede mag-spirulina, which is alkaline. Next naman po, kung meron siyang rhinitis, every morning, nagka-rhinitis po yan. Yung ating mucus sa ilong, pupunta po ulit sa pharynx, nagbabara, napupunta doon yung parang plema. So, pwede naman po siya mag-anti-allergy or improve natin yung immune system natin. So, that's, I think, pwedeng 2 causes of may plema sa lalamunan tuwing umaga. So, pwedeng rhinitis or pwedeng may gastritis siya or may GERD na tinatawag yung gastroesophageal reflux disease. Mabalik yung acid from the tiyan papunta sa pharynx, yung dito sa may likod ng ating bibig, producing mucus or phlegma. Yan po.
Ayun. So, yeah, thank you, Sir Renato. I hope na sagot ang iyong katanungan for your friend. So, meron pa ba, technical? Or so far, wala naman. Okay. Eto, Doc, clarification lang natin. Yung asthma ba, ito hereditary talaga siya?
Um, uh, Mostly po, genetics. Sometimes develop, pero mostly genetics. Kung wari, ang parents mo yung may asthma, most likely, baka meron din yung mga anak. So the best way to, is prevention lang talaga nung ating mga allergens na tinatawag.
Okay, so yun. Thank you, Doc. Okay, last question tayo, Doc. From Tessie Sullivan. Doc, yung asawa
Bahing
niyo,
tapos ng gamot.
bahing ng bahing.
Baka nakakaamoy po ng mabaho. Joke lang. So, bahing. Pwedeng, ang cause po niyan is allergic din po. Actually, allergies sa certain allergens. So, pag allergic po, nakakalanghap ng certain dust particles. Pwedeng wala nga siyang asthma, pero meron siyang allergies sa gantong mga nalalanghap niya. Pwede rin po na ano ba, gamot. So, ang gamot po natin dito ay actually anti-allergy. Sige, magreseta na po ako sa inyo. So, pwedeng uminom ng cetirizine, 10 milligrams, o yung ating Benadryl. Tuwing gabi lang po iniinom to kasi nakakantok sila. Or pwede nating i-improve yung ating immune system to help fight off yung allergens natin.
Ayun, thank you. Thank you sa iyong katanungan, Miss Tessie. Ang cute naman nung sagot ni Doc kanina dun. Baka sa'yo allergy. Hindi, biro lang po. Okay, so once again, maraming salamat, Dr. JC Magsino. Alam kong very busy, very hectic ang schedule. Pero talagang nagbigay ka ng oras para sa amin dito sa DXN na talagang malaking bagay ito. Yeah, malaking bagay sa ating mga members and viewers. So, anything you want to add, Sir JC, before po tayo mag-end?
Thank you. So again, thank you very much po. Batiin ko lang po yung father ko, DXN Service Center Director, Jaime Magsino, my sister, Jean Magsino. And
Yeah.
then always have a healthy lifestyle. Stop smoking, stop smoking, stop smoking. Yun lang po, pinaka-important.
Yes, thank you once again, Dr. JC Magsino. Ito nga sabi ng ating Crown Diamond, ni Ma'am Bing Noor. Thank you so much, Doc, for the time and giving health advice. Ito, sana marami pang doctor maging open-minded katulad nyo to help more
Yes.
people, lalo na may mga chronic illness na walang alibyo, kakainom ng
Hopefully po,
medicine.
marami kayong natutunan today. And yeah po, thank you Ma'am Bing Noor.
Yes. So, yeah, thank you, Doc. At don't worry sa ating mga viewers dahil makakasama pa natin si Dr. Magsino sa mga susunod na buwan sa ating mga wellness episode. So, yeah, thank you, Doc, and see you sa ating susunod na episode, Doc.
Thank you, Ma'am Ivy. Good morning po again, everyone.
Alright, sa ating mga viewers na hanggang ngayon ay nakikinig pa at kung marami pa kayong mga pahabol na question, well, you can type in pa rin dito sa ating live stream. And malay nyo, kapag sa free time ni Dr. Magsino, mabalikan niya yun, pwede niya kayong i-chat din or sagutin mismo yung inyong katanungan. Okay, so sa mga late nating nakasama ngayon, don't worry, you can watch this video sa ating replay video ng ating DXN Philippines Facebook page. Pwede nyong ulit-ulitin. Pwede rin yung i-share ng i-share, unlimited and free. Alright, so before po tayo maghiwa-hiwalay, meron naman po ako mga few announcement. Technical, do we have something to flash? Ayan, mga partners, bukas na bukas po para sa ating Tea Break Thursday. Huwag niyo pong palalagpasin at 3 p.m. ang ating guest speaker, si Ma'am Ainin Dumlao para sa DXN Tea Infuser and Espirudel Plain Flavor na atin pong, meron siyang ipipresent yan, ihahanda. Kung kahapon, nabusog tayo doon sa kanyang patatim with cinnamon herbs. Yan. Bukas naman po, meron siyang ipiprepare sa ating mga tsaa. At may papakita rin siyang mga bagong produkto sa abangan po natin yan, 3 o'clock. And on May 20, sunod-sunod pa rin po ang ating live stream here in DXN Philippines Facebook page para naman sa Fun Fit Friday. Makakasama natin walang iba, our dance instructor, Mr. Roy Gamboa. So sabay-sabay tayong humataw. Ready na ninyo ang inyong outfit for this dance workout. Alas 3 po yan. Ang host natin yan ay walang iba kundi si Rene Antonio Jr. At syempre, another doctor ang makakasama natin on May 25 para sa Wellness Wednesday, Health and Product in Focus, Hypertension Awareness Month. Okay, so the silent killer, abangan natin ito. So, i-save nyo na sa inyong calendar, sa inyong mga planner, sa inyong mga alarm, para naman po, hindi po kayo hindi nyo ma-miss out itong ating Facebook Live na ito. May 25, Dr. Danilo Sadsad. And also, sa mga nasa Angat, Bulacan, or sa mga taga Bulacan na malapit sa Angat, pupunta po dyan si Mr. Ryan De Jesus on May 21, 1 p.m. para po sa motivational BOM. Just contact Mr. Darwin Auriada for the tickets. Kung gusto niyo pong magpa-reserve, at alam ko, medyo nagkakaubusan na, so kontakin nyo na si Miss Joanna and Mr. Darwin Auriada. And also on May 21, si Mr. Richard Bantugan po ay nariyan po sa Service Center Pampanga. So, alauna din po yan for another motivational BOM dahil nga po tayo dito sa DXN, nag-uumpisa na tayong magkaroon ng mga face-to-face training and activities. And for May 21, once again for our Mega Sizzle, i-check nyo po sa ating mga Service Center Director sa Pangasinan, sa Dagupan, sa Lingayen, sa Mangaldan, sa San Carlos, at sa Ordaneta, kung may ticket pa sila. Kasi balita ko, nagkakaubusan na rin. Baka nga ubos na, pero kontakin nyo, baka pwedeng magpahabol ng ticket. Okay, so, Mega Sizzle, nariyan po si Mr. Ariel Adante, ang ating Crown Diamond, si Mr. Ricardo Plosios, and of course, ang ating Executive Double Crown Diamond, Mr. Jesse Corpus. So, kita-kita tayo dyan on May 21. Maraming sorpresa, maraming pasabog na darating dyan. Okay? So, thank you sa ating mga viewers. Napakaganda ng mga naging sharing ni Dr. si Carlo Magsino today about health, about respiratory health, diseases and issues, and how to maintain our maging healthy yung ating pong respiratory system. So, ang masasabi ko lamang po sa inyong mga partners, ang gaya ng nabilin po ni Dr. Magsino, stop smoking. Yan po yung number 1. Kung mahal nyo po ang sarili ninyo, o kahit hindi na po ang sarili ninyo, kung mahal nyo po ang pamilya ninyo, ang kaibigan ninyo, please stop smoking. Okay? And also, sa atin po, na hindi naman talaga naninigarilyo, please avoid yung mga crowded and polluted na mga lugar. That's why medyo nakakatulong yung face mask, no? Pag mga nasa crowded tayo, may mga umuubo, may mga bumabayang. So, somehow, we are protected ng face mask natin. And palakasin po natin yung ating respiratory system through exercise, yung ating balanced diet, and syempre, sa tulong na rin po ng ating mga DXN supplements. Nandiyan yung RGGL, yung spirulina na napakayaman sa protein dahil nga po, isa sa mga bagay kung bakit nagkakaroon tayo ng COPD or yung chronic obstructive pulmonary disease ay pagkakaroon natin ng kakulangan sa AAT or alpha-1 antitrypsin. So, kailangan natin ng protein. So, let's all be grateful also to our Creator na binibigyan niya tayo ng maayos na paghinga, ng buhay at kalakasan. Kaya naman, marami tayong kakilala na na merong ganitong asthma, may mga sakit sa baga, may hirap sa paghinga. Pero we are blessed na tayo ay healthy, tayo nakakahinga na maluwag, ng maayos. So, let's all pray always and be grateful to our Creator na tayo ay nasa maayos na kalusugan. Okay, so that's all for today. Magkita-kita tayo muli sa ating mga live stream session here in DXN Philippines. This is Ivy Celeste, ang inyong host for today. Good morning, DXN.